Stop thinking a divorce decree protects your file. You're caught in the joint account trap where an ex's late payment bleeds your score. Here's how to rebuild credit after divorce. Your decree says your ex has to pay the truck loan, but your FICO score just dropped 60 points anyway. The judge's signature means nothing to the bank. This is Optimized Credit, where we teach how credit actually works. We're going to map the exact plumbing connecting your file to your ex, the order of operations to legally sever it, and the one utilization mistake that quietly cost people 40 points the week the divorce finalizes. Start with the fact that gets buried under every divorce attorney's advice. Credit scoring models do not have a marital status field. There is no checkbox on your report that says divorced. Your score does not drop because you signed papers. It drops because 6 specific mechanics fire at the exact same time during a separation. And that simultaneity is what makes divorce so dangerous to a credit file. One spouse stops paying a joint account and the late hits both files. A joint card closes and your utilization on the remaining cards spikes overnight. A refinance falls through because your ex cannot qualify a loan. An authorized user link still on your file is either helping or hurting you. New applications during the chaos generate a wave of hard inquiries. Income drops and reported balances start running closer to the limit. Each one is a normal credit mechanic. None is unique to divorce. Divorce is just the event that pulls all 6 triggers at once. Now the single biggest misunderstanding in post-divorce credit work, and it costs people years. A divorce decree is not a creditor release. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is explicit on this. The decree is a contract between you and your ex. It is not a contract between you and the bank. The bank kept the original loan agreement you signed, and the bank keeps the right to collect from anyone whose name is on it. That means a ruling that says the auto loan is solely your ex's responsibility does not remove your name from the loan. It does not stop the lender from reporting late payments to your file. It does not prevent the lender from suing you when your ex stops paying. To actually be removed from the obligation, the account has to be refinanced into one name, paid off completely, or formally released by the creditor in writing. That last one almost never happens. So here's the rebuild sequence that actually works. Step 1 is the inventory. Pull all 3 reports from annualcreditreport.com, the federally authorized source, not a free dashboard app. For every open account, write down your role as primary, joint, or authorized user, the balance, the limit, the payment history, which bureaus it appears on, and which spouse the settlement assigns it to. Skip this, and every later step is a guess. Step 2 is treating every joint credit card as full balance liability. Each joint holder can be held responsible for the entire balance, regardless of who actually made the charges. If your ex runs the card up after separation, your file gets hit for the whole thing. The cleanest moves are paying it off and closing it, or transferring the balance onto one spouse's individual card. Leaving it open and trusting each other is not a credit plan. It works right up until it fails, and your file pays for the failure mode. If you want a free personalized 30-day action plan built from your actual credit report, head to optimizecredit.net. Now for the critical detail.
Step 3 is the lever most people do not know exists. If you were an authorized user on your spouse's card during the marriage, that account is still influencing your file. You do not need your ex's permission to remove it. Call the issuer directly and request immediate removal as the authorized user. The issuer will sever the link on your request alone, and that history will drop off your report. If the underlying card has high utilization or late payments, removing yourself is pure upside. Step 4 is disputing strategically, not emotionally. A late payment on a joint account is not inaccurate just because your ex was supposed to pay it. The credit bureaus do not enforce divorce decrees. They report what happened on the account. You can legitimately dispute when the late is on the wrong account, when payment was actually made on time, when the reporting period is wrong, or when you are already removed before the late occurred. You cannot dispute a legitimate late just because the decree assigned the bill to your ex. That is a legal claim against your ex, not a credit dispute. Step 5 is the quiet killer, the utilization ambush. Picture this. You and your spouse had a joint card with a $15,000 limit and a $3,000 balance. You also had a personal card with a $5,000 limit and a $2,000 balance. Total reported utilization, roughly 25% across $20,000 in revolving credit. The joint card pays off and closes as part of the settlement. Suddenly, you have a $2,000 balance on a $5,000 limit, 40% utilization on a single card. Same actual debt, higher reported number, lower score, often by 30 to 60 points overnight. The fix is to control what gets reported on the statement closing date, not just what you owe in raw dollars. Before any large joint account closes, pay down balances on the individual cards you were keeping, ask for a soft pull limit increase on a card that stays open, and let only one card report a small balance. The math has to work after the closure, not before it. Step 6 is rebuilding independent primary credit on purpose. If your file during marriage leaned mostly on joint accounts and authorized user links, severing them will leave the file thin. That is normal. The fix is not chasing quick points by opening 5 accounts in 1 month. That tanks your average age of accounts and floods the file with hard inquiries. The fix is one personal credit card in your name only, used lightly, kept under 9% utilization, and paid before the statement closes. Add one small installment account, like a credit builder loan or a savings secured personal loan. 2 anchors, slow and clean. Step 7 is refinancing the marital home or the auto loan. Refinancing is the only reliable way to remove your name from a joint mortgage when the decree assigns the property to your ex. Until that new loan closes, your file is still on the hook. The debt to income on your file still includes that mortgage payment. Try to qualify for a new apartment or a new home, and that old debt counts against you. If your ex cannot qualify on their own, the property usually has to be sold. Pretending the legal decree solved the credit problem is the most expensive mistake you can make.
And the question that comes up every single time: should you use authorized user trade lines to fix the file fast? Only after the file is actually clean. Trade lines help when the joint accounts are already closed or refinanced, when the disputes are resolved, and when the file is now thin instead of damaged. They are an optimization tool, not a shortcut around an unresolved joint loan. The order is clean, then build, then optimize. Reverse that order, and the borrowed history just hides the bleeding underneath. Divorce does not damage credit. Shared liability does. Sever the contracts, control what reports on statement closing dates, rebuild on accounts that are clearly yours, and the score follows. Treat the rebuild like a debugging problem and not a punishment, and you walk out of this with a stronger file than you walked in with.
Understanding these foundational rules is only step 1. To map out your exact next moves, run a free profile scan and get your 30-day action plan at optimizecredit.net. And make sure to subscribe for more step-by-step credit education.